Welcome to the Emotional Balance Sheet, the go-to podcast for parents with multiple kids, especially those with twins, triplets, or more, who are navigating the maze of modern family life and personal finance. Whether you're overwhelmed by education or retirement planning, parenting dilemmas, career transitions, or trying to define your purpose and plan, we're here to guide you with empathy, encouragement, and expertise. Hosted by Paul Fenner, founder of Tama Capital, a certified financial planner and parent to 4 kids, including a set of triplets. Our podcast is your ally in the quest for financial peace of mind, proving that money matters, but family comes first. Subscribe now and join our community of empowered parents at tamacapital.com. This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of Tama may retain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.
What does comprehensive financial planning even mean? At Tama Capital, it means a family office where lifestyle planning such as retirement, college, portfolio management, and tax prep and planning are all under one umbrella. But it goes beyond numbers. We focus as much on the emotional side of financial planning as we do on the financial side. We get you. We understand your challenges of building a family, business or career, and a healthy life. We are devoted to wealth planning for families like yours because we are you. Learn how our family can help your family by visiting tamacapital.com. Hi, and welcome back. There's something this week that kind of hit me, and it doesn't sound like financial planning question on the surface, but what if the secret to a happier life had nothing to do with more? Not more money, not a bigger house, not a better return on your portfolio. Charlie Munger, one of the greatest investors of our lifetime, was asked near the end of his life, which was just recently, he lived to be 98, I believe, maybe 99, what his secret was to living a happy life. And his answer was really simple and honestly a little jarring. And he said, the first rule of a happy life is low expectations. If you have unrealistic expectations, you're going to be miserable your whole life. And I've been sitting with that because in the work that I do with families and in my own life, I see this play out constantly. The misery isn't usually from what people don't have. It's from that gap between what they have and what they thought they should have had by now. Let me give you an example. I had a client a couple years ago. I'll call her Sandra. She has 2 kids, well above average income, solid savings, no debt outside of her mortgage. So by any reasonable measure, she was doing great. She'd come in for a conversation, but I noticed that she just felt deflated, not anxious, not panicked, just flat. And it took me more than a few minutes to figure out why. And it turned out Sandra had a mental picture of what 45 was supposed to look like. That's how old she was, 45. House paid off, kids' college fully funded, a vacation home somewhere warm because she lives here in the state of Michigan with me, and a retirement portfolio that she felt confident about. She built that picture in her 20s, and then she never questioned it. She never unpacked it. Because by the time she hit 40s, life had done what life does. A career change, a divorce, a few years of single parenting, and that picture did not match reality, even though the reality was genuinely fine. The problem wasn't her financial plan. The problem was the scoreboard she was measuring against it. Teresa and I wrestle this with our own version too. As you know, we have 4 kids, including a set of triplets, which means we've been in full contact sport mode for the better part of 15 years. And there's moments, probably more than I like to admit, where I compare where we are today, where I thought we would be at this age years ago, whether it's the business, savings, the house, and really the pace of life. It's a fast way to feel like you're behind, even when you're not. Munger's point wasn't that you should aim low. And I think that's a misconception with low expectations. He wasn't saying don't have ambition, don't have goals. He was saying something more precise than that. He was talking about expectations versus outcomes. The story you build in your own mind versus the life that actually unfolds. And there's a second piece to his answer that I think gets overlooked, which is this idea of stoicism. Take life's results, good and bad, as they happen with a certain amount of stoicism, is what he said. Stoicism, I think, gets a bad rap because people hear it, and I think it means being emotionally flat, not caring, going through life numb. And if you know me, that's not my style at all. Stoicism is about not letting things outside of your control run the show inside of your own mind. You feel the thing and you decide what to do next rather than getting swallowed by it. In financial planning, I see the opposite of this constantly. A market drop happens, geopolitical, and people spiral. A bonus doesn't materialize, and they feel like they're a failure. A house doesn't appreciate or sell at the price that they would have hoped, and suddenly the whole plan feels broken. None of these reactions help. They usually actually make things worse. And underneath most of them is an expectation that wasn't examined closely enough in the first place. The families I've worked with for a long time, the ones who generally are settled, not just financially stable, tend to share something in common. And that's this. They've done the work, sometimes intentional, sometimes through hard experience, to recalibrate what's actually enough. And we've talked about that a lot over the last 5 years in this show. They've been able to separate the scoreboard that they inherited from one that they actually want to play. That's not resignation, that's clarity. And clarity is an underrated action. So this week, I want you to try one simple thing. Pick one area of your financial life where you feel behind or not enough, or like you're not where you thought you would be. And ask this one question. Where did that expectation come from? Was it something you chose? Did it arrive from a parent, a friend, a magazine article, a social media post, a moment in your 20s when you thought you had the whole picture figured out? You don't have to answer it completely, but just notice where it's coming from. And that's a good starting point. So if I hit on a nerve or something that you've been thinking about, I'm sure others would like to know about this as well. So feel free to like and share it with others that you care about. And remember, money is a number, enough is a story. So make sure you're writing your own story. Now that you've made it to the end of another great conversation, are you looking for more? If so, head over to tamacapital.com, where you will find all of our conversations. Use the search feature to find the topic or guest you would love to learn more about. Also, don't forget to make someone else's day by sharing our show. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.